Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. Okay. All right. Shoulder
Good
roll. Right in
morning.
class. Good morning. Bum, bum, bum. Morning, Esther. Morning, Christine.
Morning.
Morning, Betty. Hi, Carol. And Stacy, when she comes, we'll get rocking and rolling.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. We're going to start with the share so that we can see all of the wonderful pieces that we were working on last week.
I got a little message on my screen that said my internet connection is unstable. I've never seen that before, so we'll see what happens.
I'm very familiar with that message. It's possible it'll be okay. Yeah,
It went away. So.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it might mean that you might see some freezing here and there. So if that happens, don't panic. Just let it kind of work itself out.
Okay.
That's my suggestion anyway, because again, when you have the bars, the 3 bars, and sometimes it's only 2 bars, that generally is when it's like connection unstable.
I see.
Which did that just happen to Carol? She just disappeared. Okay. Carol, stay in the light. Stay in the Zoom room light. There we go. Hi, Carol. You're back.
Hi. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're good. You're here, and Stacy is here. Welcome and good morning, Stacy.
Morning. Sorry, I was in the open studio one when I realized.
Someone finally did that. I've actually questioned it, but I've not yet quite been in the wrong room yet.
Just sitting here waiting.
Oh no.
Well, I was trying to paint my husband a birthday card too, so I was distracted and didn't realize the time. Otherwise, I would have realized I was in the wrong.
Yeah. I'm glad. No, your timing is good. Okay. Fantastic. April is visiting friends, so she'll catch up next week. I hope you have all had a really great week. I have Carol who has emailed me her work, Betty as well. So I can actually screen share those. Would anyone else like to share from last week and start just more of like I can spotlight?
Yeah, I can do.
Okay.
Did I send you a picture? I didn't send a picture.
It's possible. I do know for sure I have Carol and Betty, so I'll check to see if I have yours.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
wow.
Very cool.
Fun.
Love.
Yeah.
You captured the whole feeling of being in the forest. I love the patterning on the ground. It has a Van Gogh mark making, like you really have really good mark making there, and great value.
High praise.
Yes. Yeah, he'd be jealous, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I was pleased. It just happened, right? And like I said last week, when we were doing red trees, I was a little concerned.
I love the intensity of it. There's still a natural feeling to your color palette, and yet it's vibrant. I love the value. It really gives it some concrete. Like it's not like you've got really strong darks, which is appealing to me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And there's the light in all the right places that makes me like for what it's worth, I said it last week, I just didn't really want to care about sky. There's such a focus on a lot of works as, sky holes. And yes, that's amazing. Yes, there's so much like beauty there. But I love this feeling of that I know in person, to be there. So I feel like I can walk right in. I'm glad you should be.
Someone wrote, it looks like somewhere I'd like to walk. And I thought,
yeah.
Oh, it's still my
awesome.
heart.
Yeah.
That's a wonder. That you can't get better than that kind of connection with someone.
Pretty cool. So there you go.
Excellent. Thank you, Christine. Esther, would you like to share?
So I just sent you an email with
Okay.
the image. But I can hold it up too, but if you bring it up,
I think the screen share's clearer.
yeah, let me just I have to grab it. It's heavy.
Oh, because it's large. That's
Big
great.
wood.
And you were working very large. I'll spotlight you. I want
Well,
to see
it's
the
not,
scale.
I guess it's not that large, but it's heavy because
Wood.
it's real like it's birch
Oh,
panel,
yeah.
which my husband really got into. So that's
Oh,
what I did.
Yeah.
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 oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
And I
Yeah.
just loved it. Like I love this process. I really love this process. So now I've got another big piece of wood to work on today.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fun.
nice.
Yeah. So
Fun.
another trip to Home Depot.
It's a nice size. The tall, long, like when you
Yeah.
it's a good size. Okay, well, you send your man over our way, and thank you very much.
Yeah, I did.
Very moody. I liked very moody.
Yeah. Well, that's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a very moody, emotional person.
Yeah. That's what I felt in that.
Not easy to live with all the time, but I have a very patient, loving husband. So.
I don't think any of us are easy.
No. Anyway.
Yeah. I bet he would also agree. He's not always easy.
No, he's not. It's not great when we're both not being easy. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. We can relate though, right? I mean, I think when we're being honest about that, I actually prefer when there's that. It's real. You're real.
Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah.
Loving human being that's perfectly imperfect. Okay, let me screen share. And I'll check to see if I have Stacy's.
I can screen share.
Do you want to text me?
Would it be easier to screen share or text?
Oh, you can screen share. Oh, yeah.
Hold it up.
Or hold it up? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna see if. Okay, you didn't text it to me, so I'll just spotlight you. Okay. I think that's just fine.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that colors. Just love that.
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
Bold and beautiful. I love the minimalism, and yet there's all these little intricate detail scratchinesses that are I love in the light, like the little branches. Love.
Yeah, it's definitely different than what I normally would have done. So.
Yeah, color is beautiful.
Beautiful.
The reflection of the light at the top and then in the ground is stunning. Yeah.
Thanks.
This is a gorgeous piece. You will definitely, I hope, embrace the Quinn Violet decisions in your life. Like it's perhaps not something you would usually do, but you just did it. So look at what happens when you choose like this warm palette that is creating a mood instead of trying to represent reality. And like, wow, this is all feeling right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then oil and charcoal, love it. I can see the mixed media combo, and I like how they play off of each other a lot.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm sold. Are you sold though, Stacy? That's the big question.
No, I really liked the combo. It was a lot of fun. I think I'll try more of it. In fact, I think the crane for Logan is either going to be well, it's going to be on wood, either charcoal and watercolor on the clear ground or charcoal and oil. So
it's a tough choice because they'll both be awesome.
well, I've found a color palette in my watercolors that I really like. I'd have to see about transparent colors. I don't think I have transparent colors that would make the colors that I have in my head. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
3.
Yeah, let's talk about that tomorrow in Open Studio. And that's where I just while we're doing spotlighting, I will just, because I sent it and it sent it really big in the email. I was sort of like en route. So I really am, I wish that it was possible to finish things in a class. It's not always been like that, even in in-person classes, but having that time Sunday morning has proven to be really awesome. So, again, I don't expect anyone to have extra time, but anyone I know who has either been obsessed and continues to work later in the day or even a little bit the following day, there's a couple more hours makes such a huge difference. So as I had texted, it really took me a long time to actually accept to make certain changes and go in and take risks, and that's okay. It just took a lot longer than what I normally would do, but I'm going to leave it. I'm quite happy with it. The color is neon. It is in real life neon, so it's very different, and I actually am in love with red trees.
Yeah.
Fluorescent red. It's a thing. And I'm loving oil again. So that's something I'm excited about.
Oh, I need it.
And because of this palette that I chose, I'll just talk as I'm getting into the sharing the screen. Because of the palette that I chose, I didn't really think about a mood. It was literally just, okay, these are new colors. So I am looking at some of the choices in your works and really inspired by that.
So the paint that you used was labeled as fluorescent?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't how you applied it that made it that vibrant.
No, they're fluorescent colors. So I have to look into the brand and see if in any way how fugitive they are, because fluorescent colors are not stable, which just means that in like 500 years, you'll just see the charcoal and maybe the blue and green, because the red will disappear.
Okay.
And that'll be fine. People will be like, whoa, that was a weird choice. And I'll be like, yes, it was. This is Carol's work from our first project, The Forest Floor, and I am in love with it, Carol.
Well, I keep blanking off this screen for some reason. I don't see you anymore.
Does everyone see this work on the screen?
Nope.
No.
Oh, that's my fault. Here we go. I try it again. Okay.
Esther?
Now can you see it?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
There.
There you go.
Wow.
Now you can?
Yep.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh,
Yes. This is capturing the feeling. I love the intuitive, expressive marks, and where you place color is so elusive, and yet it's representational. I can see things, and I really appreciate that. This is actually, to me, what a forest floor really looks like.
yeah.
I love that. Love it.
Really nice.
Any feelings, Carol, about the media and working on the wood?
gone.
Let me stop share for a minute because, oh. Okay. All right, Carol. Kind of poltergeist. In and out. In and out. You see her, then you don't. Carol?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I only see Christine.
So
now I see. Okay, now everybody's back.
We're back. Now, this has happened a couple times. Is there something that I can help with, or I'm not sure what's wrong?
Well, it just keeps telling me that my bandwidth is low.
Oh,
so and I don't know why that would be.
Nothing you can do about that. That's too many people in your area.
Okay, that's what's going on then.
Bandwidth is
I'm the only one home, so.
Or it could be very similar to that. Oh man,
gone again.
Yikes.
Carol, I'm going to make a suggestion to actually restart your device.
Okay, so I just shut down and start up again?
Your whole, yeah, are you on a laptop?
No, just a desktop.
Screen.
I'll do that.
I would do a whole restart. It'll feel like forever, but it won't be longer than a couple minutes.
Okay. Yep.
And then come back, and then we'll just, I'd love to hear you talk about your piece. I just don't want you to start talking and then disappear again.
I know. Here.
We have time. We have time. Okay. And then, so I'll bring Esther's up so we can see that clearly.
Oh, it's me again. There you go. Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's the color. This is why I do like sometimes getting a text or a photo, because the color is so very different than what it looks like in your studio.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the violet, and I love the complementary choices here. It's mystical, magical. It's a magical forest. Love the base of your trees. That's really cool.
Fingers.
Yeah.
They look like they have feet.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like they're hula-ing.
Yes. Or maybe they're going to start walking.
There are things like walking. Apparently there's walking trees, right? They don't really walk, but their roots are so shallow. And I think that is, symbol. Again, you're so tapped into allowing your imagery to become meaningful and not have to be representational. And yet it still is. We know exactly we're walking into a forest and there's birch trees. So you're really bridging that so beautifully.
Okay. Thank you.
If you're going to do any more work on this, I would love to see a little more scattering of the light on the ground. The shape that it's in, not a problem, but to just have even with more medium or something, so it's not so bright, just to have it a little bit elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up at the top and you see that it's sort of everywhere, you have room to do blazing in there.
Sure. That's a good idea. And the other thing I thought for myself is, where the path kind of looks like it's veering off a bit to the right.
Yes.
I want to not too much, but emphasize it a bit more so that it really looks like it's going back into the forest.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give a destination, an unknown destination.
Yeah,
that would work really well.
Mm-hmm.
Anything asymmetrical, is a good thing. Let's see. So here we go. So admit Carol, she's back. That's great. So my hairdresser, I stayed with her recently. I did a Toronto visit, and she's a pro. Like, she's been doing this for a really long time. She's worked in film and stuff. She's really amazing. And she's helped me as my hair has changed as I've gotten older as well, because your hair changes, right? Your scalp and everything. Like, she's wonderful to work with, a woman who is in the know and who will talk about it. But anyway, she was like, I'd like to do something different. I said, you can do whatever you want. She goes, your era of asymmetry is over. That's what she said to me.
Oh.
I was like, I just got shivers. Like, what do you mean? Is this like a prophecy? What are you conjuring? And she's like, no, she said, this is your era of balance.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Okay, bring it to me.
Really good. Yeah.
She cut my hair all like the same. Normally I have it all it's skewed. And so anyway, that just came to mind, and I'm like, oh, asymmetry is always good. But there is room for balance. Maybe we can incorporate that in some work at some point on how to cleverly balance something so that it doesn't feel predictable, or, that it's still organic. I mean, how do we connect art to life, back to art again?
Awesome.
So Carol, my love, hopefully this so far is so good. Let's talk about how you felt about the medium and working on the wood. And then if you do have your piece from last week to share.
Okay. I did work on the one from last week, and it's okay, but I guess I can show it to you. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It seems off. I tried to bring a little more light into it, but yeah, I don't know.
You did. I think
maybe it looks better like this. Anyways, it just feels too dark for me, even though looking at it on the screen, it looks lighter than it does in real life. So I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. Screens can do that because they're illuminated. Okay, so here's myself. I love things that feel dark and mysterious and moody, but if it's too dark for you, then that is a great opportunity to start thinking about how you can bring in something opaque. So maybe a soft pastel or a pencil crayon, or even another kind of paint. What was
that's true.
Acrylic?
That is acrylic.
Okay, so you could get into like just bringing in little shots of like a warmer yellow that's got some unbleached titanium or a little bit of white mixed in, just to tickle around and maybe do some scumbling. Because if it's warmth and light you want, the ground feels light enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, the ground, I worked a fair bit on that, and also bringing a little more light in through here, but
I think warmth is maybe like yellow is what I'm craving. Any other suggestions for like brightness for Carol?
Yeah.
I love the orange little hint at the top, because that to me, you look at a sunset through the trees, that got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that orange too.
Anyway, that's okay. It's interesting though how one can change your work. With this one, I did work on it a few times this week, and then I thought, well, maybe I should just stop, which I eventually did. But then, so
there is, that's good. You're working with yourself. Yes, I think sometimes when you're not sure, actually stopping for a while, like, is really good.
Yeah.
Even
leave
long
it,
while.
leave it.
But I do think that because we have time, we'll be able to we have time to, throughout the next couple of weeks, also look at how do these maybe connect? So next week and the week after, we can really look at how can we bring these together. I didn't plan that. I didn't plan to say have a series. It's always something that is possible to plan, but I don't know, maybe next year I'll do like a series class, like how to build a series.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That'd be great.
Okay, Google AI or whatever AI magic is happening. Take that note and send me a follow-up later. I have, by the way, in the recordings, been trying to put some of the Zoom summary in there. So if I actually find the summaries to be fantastic, but it's a lot of information. And the one time I sent out the whole thing, the feedback I got was like, that's too much. And then sometimes it's wrong. Like sometimes it actually is, if we're muffled or whatever, it's wrong. Sometimes people's names are wrong, like, in the follow-up or whatnot. But I do try to put some information there. So if you're ever like, oh, what was that about? You can just text me and ask me. And I probably will have a note, like say if it's a suggestion on a book or a color. Those summaries I'm so far keeping in Zoom so I can always refer back. Okay. I think we're ready to rock. If I missed anyone.
Yep.
Betty, that's right. I have yours to share. Or because you didn't work on the shadows since I texted you, right?
Yes, but that was just this morning, so I haven't had a chance to
Okay.
work on them. And I'm also I feel like the base of the trees I'm not real happy with either, but the shadows I need to work on.
Okay. Let's take a look together.
Oh,
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful. That's amazing.
After I got the trees done, I thought they looked like they're dancing or talking to each other or something. I mean, they look like something out of a children's book.
I was just going to say, it looks like they're dancing.
It does, doesn't it?
Fun.
Or trying to hold hands or something.
Yeah, it's a seance.
What, have you ever read the book, The Secret Life of Trees?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. The 3D shadow illusion is beautiful in the trees, and that is why the base and the shadows aren't working for you.
Because why?
Because you have such good dimension in the branches.
Mhm.
You mean I should have more detail in the base?
It's not detail, it's dimension. It's so let's just, I'm gonna save this and then we're gonna go into Procreate because we'll all learn from this. Is it not there? 1 second, just gonna have to do that again. And then, oh, where is it? I copy it. I'm gonna try copying it. Yes. I learned a new thing. So it's the dimension you have, the gorgeous dimension of the branches that like with a stroke and the extreme value, which I mean in a good way. Okay. You got really high contrast there from the dark shadow. Underneath the branches. So now it has to be the same in here. So I would bring in where the light is just a little bit down in here. I'm just going to do one tree. Okay.
Okay.
And then I was suggesting to like kind of bring in some of this stuff in here so that this isn't so straight. So shadows actually wrap around things.
Right. They should be softer edges too, right?
And more scumbly, like, so instead of straight, like a straight line,
Right.
to actually almost like, let's see here, kind of more like this, but just longer, so that your shadow, like, it's a more that your brush stroke should be dancing.
Okay.
I don't think you necessarily need a shadow right where I put that there, but just to show
Right.
an example. But yeah, it's the high contrast in here. So even in the shadow part, I would even take black and like just like bark texture in this shadow part where it meets the ground, because that is what you have in the branches.
Okay. More contrast at the base of the tree and the shadow.
Yeah, and actually, so these two trees are like spot on, love. Like, look at, that's kind of exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, and I
Alrighty.
think that these just got a little bit too connected.
Yes.
So break this up with like ground, like just a little bit broken ground like texture. Just break it up because the shadows are there, but they just don't need to be straight.
Okay.
And then higher contrast. And the contrast doesn't have to be black. Like, even that green is really nice there. You
The
can
what?
still have colorful darks.
Okay.
But your contrast, your really wonderful contrast up here needs to reflect down here in the areas that are bothering you.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
I love the colors you chose.
Thank you. Well, Charlene and I seem to lean towards some of the same colors, but it was help. It's very unlike me to paint like that, to paint to not be realistic. I tend to be more realistic, so it's fun to not be.
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. I have to make myself be realistic in life and in art. Yes. Anyway.
I love this, that we're all putting together parts that, it's like working with ourselves and what we have done, because it's one thing to say, this is not what I do or not who I am, but you're here, you signed up wanting to do a different thing. So it is part of who you are. Like, so I'm hoping that this is a wonderful surprise for yourself. If like, yes, I've never done anything like this before. Oh my goodness. Now what? And so let's get into working. So my thoughts for this piece, I really could not make a decision, which is why I sent out the follow-up on, I think it was Monday. It was like much later than usual, right? I try to do Saturday night or Sunday, but I couldn't make a decision. One of those things had to do with so many reference photos. Some I've had, shared from you. And then also I was looking and going like, what feels right as the next step of continuing a thought process in these projects. So because of talking about Audrey Kawasaki, or Audrey, whatever her name is, I'm not sure if that's her name. And then also Catherine Pirro, I wanted to go back to drawing on wood. We may encounter some hiccups there in some ways, because we now know that drawing on like a clear gesso is much nicer. But I would like to have that relationship with the raw wood. This is important. I'm just going to spotlight so that you have speaker view. This is important. It goes back to the philosophy of using Japanese paper and how washi is so beautiful that you let that washi speak. You let the paper work with. So people who work with washi tend to leave a lot of the paper seen. You don't go in with a paint and cover the whole damn thing up, because that's almost sacrilegious. And I feel kindred to wood in that sense. We know there's other things we can do with wood. We can prime it, sand it, you can carve it and paint it. There's actually beautiful artwork where you can carve. It's something I might get into at some point because I do have carving tools from that Mokuhanga experience. So all of these like really wonderful things we can do with wood, but in the simple way of how can we use it as a drawing surface, I'd like to focus on the quality of line today. I pulled out my graphite pencils and then also some colored pencils. And what I didn't note in the email to you is that they cannot be water soluble colored pencils. They have to be regular wax or oil based colored pencils if you're going to choose that. The reason being is I want to talk about using fixative as we go. And then also when you're done the drawing, using a fixative to set the drawing. Then you can use clear gesso over top, or you can seal it so that drawing will not budge. And that's kind of a cool thing if you want to work with something else on top of it. You could even do a dry media ground layer and then do soft pastel. And the idea here is to allow that drawing to speak through and also let the wood speak through. So that's the bizarre little mission that I have thought up for us. And so got our reference, which my interest in this reference is the sway of the branches, the heaviness, and the skirt. It's like a skirted, like almost like boa feathers. So that's why I chose it. I found that to be really nice. I'm going to spotlight here. Okay, so I put the notan there, just simply if it helps you to be able to see, because it can get a little bit like, oh, is that the tree in the foreground or background? So that's all the notan is there for. If you have a different size piece of wood, just crop, so if you have a square, just choose where you think, like maybe there. And it's not playtime now. Do I say hi? Okay. All right. Someone wants attention. Okay. So is that enough? Is that enough attention? Yeah, everyone says hi. So you give a little and they want more. You go lay down. You go lay down.
Such a beauty.
Hey, up on the couch. Oh, up. Okay, pardon me. I've been away all week, so he's like really excited that I'm home. All right, I'm going to use, I really love mechanical pencils. They give a really beautiful line. So I'd actually think that I'm just going to go on to paper and talk about lines for just a quick moment. Yeah. Okay. Just a little, if you actually want to get your sketchbooks for a minute, I'd like to do a 5-minute warm up with, this is more about the motion of our hand and how we're holding our tool. And we've probably done this before, and that's okay, because this is just about, it's like a warm up before you work out. So Let's do a little series of quick hatches where you're resting your hand on your paper and you're just going back and forth, hitting the paper. How can you hold that pencil differently and get, oh, it changes the feeling. Just get a little continuous line happening now. I'm holding my pencil personally in a way that I would never hold it to draw, but it feels good. And I'm liking the results of the mark, so that's actually interesting. Okay. And then let's do some variegated marks, which is pressure, thick to thin, lifting, tapered. Okay, I'm not actually gonna pull this. Let's do press and lift. That's all it needs to be is press and lift. And then do it a bit quicker. Press and lift and twist. Woo! Press and lift and twist. Woo! Oh, what happens when you twist? You get little crookedy thingies. Nice. Now let's do a continuous line with the twist. Twist and twist and twist. Maybe hold your pencil more like a scoop, just to see how that feels. Now let's go back to one of the previous lines, any of the lines you've made, and thicken one end intentionally. How can you come in? And so to build up a line where it's, I'm learning this also with tattooing. This is very, very interesting that you want to come in and it's the same taper. You want to control that taper so that it hits halfway down. So it's a little bit sooner than where you want it to taper. You can always do 2 lines and fill them in. There's nothing wrong with that. Ooh, what can you do if you do 2 lines that go up? So like a funnel. How would you merge those if it was an organic situation? No right or wrong, just to see how to connect lines, to build up a line that starts in one place and then travels somewhere else. How carefully do you have to work to get that line to be pleasing to you? What's your speed today? And you do some lines that all come to a point. And this is the sort of stylized, decorative thought that I had when I looked at this tree. This tree seemed very fancy. And I thought with an illustrative flair, instead of a painterly flair, how are we going to interpret the edges of this tree? So when I look at this what looks to be like an old tree with just moss strung over a branch, that it's going to have, here, I'll get a cleaner area here. Going to have a branch. And then it's going to have things coming down off of it. And there's no one way to be able to do this, but how are you going to make it look like it's one branch with all of this wonderful stuff? Do we have to fill it in? I'd rather paint later. So I'm thinking perhaps an outline. This is just what my kind of thoughts are right now, is to maybe do an outline, but that's sketchy and not too hard. So I'm going to come in and disturb that a little bit. Maybe some lines don't even have to connect. They can just float away. You know, it's really giving me the fingers of the Grinch.
Yeah.
Like the Jim Carrey costume.
Can you go through and define what you mean by painterly versus illustrative?
Mm-hmm. Illustrative, the number one identification of that is line.
Okay.
So, whereas a cartoon will have a very distinctive outline, and it'll be all one, generally all one thickness. Illustration will be perhaps part line. A lot of, like, anything editorial in a magazine, especially from way back, would be illustrative. So any of the, you know, like selling clothing or ladies that was done with gouache, that would be illustrative. So it was still done with paint, but there were harder edges. It was clearer, a little bit more fashion.
Okay.
And then painterly wouldn't have any lines at all necessarily. Like, you're looking more at shading without there being any lines, because there really are no lines in nature.
Okay.
Audrey, the portraits that Audrey, is it Audrey Kawasaki? Let me just look that up again. I feel when it's a cultured name, I get confused. Audrey. It is Kawasaki. Okay, awesome. The portraits that Audrey Kawasaki was doing on the wood, that's illustrative 100%, because it's line work, but it's not cartoony. Do you want me to bring up her work again?
Mm-hmm.
If nobody else minds.
It's right. Yeah, it's right here, and it's easy. It's just didn't want to if it was like, if you're like, yeah, no, I know. So that is illustrative, because there's the hard lines. This is actually a combo, like it's illustrative and painterly. So what she's doing right now is painterly, but because she has that hard edge, that makes it illustrative.
Okay.
This is sketchy, but then so this is the beginning preliminary on wood. That's sketchy, but now see how she's hardening up lines?
Yeah.
That makes it illustrative. And it's something that in some drawing classes, you'll hear people ask you to avoid. I've actually suggested it here and there for animals, like, don't do hard outlines because it'll look like cartoons. All those hard lines make it illustrative, but she's done the inside of the body very painterly.
Right. Okay.
She's a great example of it. And looking at her work last week really did inspire me that actually, you know what, it'd be really cool to do the tree with that illustrative line, allowing anyway, there's too much of her stuff that there's just too much on social media in general. But those two videos are actually very good examples. Just so here's the thing is that when we seal it and we bring out paint, that you can change that element if you want, and we can maybe have a bit of a hybrid. So it's definitely something new for me. Yeah, so I don't actually have an idea of where to go with the line. I think this is about exploring. Oops, no, I didn't want to remove that. Spotlight that. So in that, I'm sort of looking at, let me actually just get right on into here. I don't know which side to do. I like this side. Okay. So I'm just using graphite pencil. This one is going to look a little darker on your end, but that's good. I like that, and I chose that so that you can see. But this is one of the graphite matte, which to me is similar to a black pencil crayon. Fine. I do like them. This is a 10B, so it's really, really dark. So here, it's very simple design. You've got the tree on the left side. I'm not going to bother putting that in, maybe just to have a couple of marks into the negative space here. I have put thought into this, which is why I chose this guy, but I'm also going to work it out with you, right? So I'm like, I know I don't want to just put a straight line down here. So I'm just looking at these parts, and I'm not pressing too hard so that I'm making an indent into the wood, because I'm just exploring. Okay. So, okay, the first wonderful swing, where does it start? Again, you got to kind of work with the dimensions of your piece, but anything that's got asymmetry. Oh, maybe I'll do that balance that we're talking about here. So if it's starting here, I'll end it here. Oh, that's a bit too low. No. Okay, so Lucy. Just getting that started. And then this is a complicated little guy for what it's worth. Simple, but it's also not. Right now, it feels like hair, in a good way. Like Grinch's hair. So I'm just coming out from these very feathery, hatchy marks that are kind of building up a shape, right? So instead of me outlining, because I, was talking about illustrative, but I haven't figured that out yet. I will get there. So right now it's just a matter of building. Oh, and seeing that some of these are layered. So layering is always good, as in this branch goes in behind that branch. In a piece like this, if it's ever crossing your mind about like what is the focus, um, it's the tree. So that's where the quality of line and the design of the branches is ultimate. If in my mind I was thinking I might just leave everything else wood. I don't need to necessarily make this feel like it's in the woods if I make that look like a tree. So right now I'm not planning on in my mind doing anything else to it. So my focus is solely on making these branches as interesting as possible. And then how to make it look like this tree. And may I ask, does anyone know what kind of tree this is? Like, I know it's coniferous. It's old.
It could be a cedar
Okay.
with and then the moss on top of it.
You know, there's like, it's like I've seen these. I feel like I should go to school to be a part arborist or something. Like, I feel like for the love of trees, I should know more about trees.
It seems like it could be Georgia, Tybee Island, Savannah. They have all sorts of trees with the Spanish moss.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know.
Because it kind of looks like both. It looks like there's moss, but then there's also
Needles.
needles. Yeah.
They're round rather than straight. Like they're not a pine tree or a fir tree that are straight sticks.
Hmm. Yes, fur. See, fur kept coming to my mind, but I think it's because it's all hairy-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
So as you start building up marks, this could be an opportunity. So if you just want to like give me your eyes on the demo here, as I'm exploring this shape in here and I bring down a mark and then another mark, now I've got this opening, and this is where design that you allowed it just happen comes. So I'm not going to fill that in, even though it would be filled in there. And then I'll look to see what else do I have? How can I connect that? And then bringing in whatever I see here that I find interesting. I see another little opening there. I will aim to sort of repeat things so that you start to create and allow your marks to design for you, but you do have to control and allow it. So you're not planning it. Here would be another example up here. So if I'm going to do a little lip up and then, oh, I like the shape in there, so I'm going to push that. But I don't need to fill this in. Now that I have that happening, I'll make a decision to allow that to be open. And so this is an exploratory approach where I'm going to aim to then bring back some of the, mossy bits so that it just doesn't look like a paisley design. Still want it to be a tree. And anytime you need to erase, I would suggest probably a white eraser. You have to play with that on your wood. am breaking out my brushes. This is not a class where I'm going to teach about smudging with brushes, but it's something that I love. And so you don't have to do it. I like smudges.
Did your graphite smudge?
Yeah, especially if it's soft. Yeah, I could do the whole charcoal brush shading technique with graphite. It's not a problem. The reason I don't like use graphite so much is because of the sheen.
Right.
And then when I bought these pencils, which is, graphite matte, and apparently there's no sheen, I'm like, but it just feels like colored pencil. So it didn't win me over. I mean, it just means that I'm not the only one who doesn't like graphite sheen. I like it if it's going to be used. Like there's artwork where people have used graphite sheen intentionally, and I think that's absolutely cool. So it's just like a personal thing. But just remind us to not get stuck too much in the details until you get a feeling of sort of overall. And to please ask if you're at any point unsure. Just so this is going to be self check-in because we've shared for the first part of the class, and then just let me know if you want your eyes on your drawing. But I'd like to spend as much time drawing as possible.
Are you recommending graphite, or can we use charcoal?
Can use charcoal, absolutely. Or even carbon. Carbon is a mix of charcoal and graphite, so that's always a really good in between. And I think I probably will break out the carbon, but I'm quite liking like this. This is darker than graphite, so I'm like satisfied for the moment. But yeah, and colored pencil I think would also be really fun. It might take a little bit longer if you're working out color choices as you go. I don't know if you remember, but there was a class that I used to do where I was like, okay, we're going to do colored pencil because it's like a drawing class, and I want everyone to try it and just, learn the technique. And every single project that I chose for like that year took so long to complete because colored pencil is such like a crazy technique. It's all about layering. Like all those works you see with colored pencil that are like realistic, lifelike, hundreds of hours. Like it's nuts. Nuts in a good way. I like nuts. But I wouldn't think that the colored pencil technique would apply in the same way here. It's like it would be like use your colored pencil the same way you would a graphite pencil. Because the wood is not paper, it can't take it. as we're working, I must just do a little pop culture update. I do recommend you watch Frankenstein. I will recommend this to everybody. It is like I watched it yesterday on the train ride home and I cried on the train shamelessly for quite some time. It is such an emotional story, and it's apparently exactly how the writer, I can't remember her name, but it's apparently on point with what she always intended it to be. And it's not like a horror monster story. It's actually totally about humanity, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's quite slow, like it's not an action-packed story at all. And yeah, so it's on Netflix for those who have access. I stole my aunt's password because I don't buy into platforms anymore, but she was saying that I had to watch it, and I was like, okay, well then hand over your password. And there's a behind the scenes bit too, which I haven't watched, but apparently it's really color coded. Like there's a lot of creative thought because it's Guillermo del Toro, and he's known for stuff like that. just ask if I can get a yes or no or maybe about is the wood working well with the drawing tool.
I'm going back and forth between graphite and charcoal, and I think it's working pretty good.
Hey, that's great.
That's what I'm doing as well.
And that would, so you have birch there?
I have birch and I'm using both graphite and charcoal.
Nice. And it's loving it?
I'm enjoying it.
You're loving it and the wood's loving it. Love it. Okay. It's great.
A lot of loving it.
Do 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 do. Okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, just I mean, we're going back to like our first kind of exploration of wood can be funny with paint. It can also be funny with drawing tools. I have run into skipping, like especially with charcoal.
I'm kind of liking the skipping effect
Okay.
because it's keeping me from being too liney. Like, I mean, I know we're using lines, but it's helping me with variation of lines.
Good. Yeah, that's great to hear. Like having something that is natural and organic and inconsistent kind of helps you be that, which so you can try and be as like straight as you like. But the wood is not.
A sec.
So at some, pardon me. Okay, at some point, start to look as a whole. Look at what is happening that you like, and start repeating that. See where else you can put those, either shapes or value or curves or anything that's standing out style wise. Then you can look to see where you haven't worked and start to place it around, scatter it here and there so that there's some unity. I don't know why it took me so long to come up with the example that watercolor painting will always like tend to look pretty natural and painterly, and then watercolor and pen and ink is illustrative, like just by nature.
Ah,
Because it's a really good question, and I'm like, oh, I'm trying to like subconsciously. I wasn't really like consciously thinking about it. Just subconsciously, I was like, there are other examples. Ah, icicles. That's what these remind me of. Hmm. Okay, because I personally need to take a break for my hands, I am going to show the next step. So you can still draw or whatnot, but I'd just like to talk about fixatives because it's not just about fixing the drawing when you're ready to then proceed to putting down a ground. I'm just going to say that, my intent for this project would be to put down a clear gesso. We talked, there's other options, but let's just say you don't want to just put a clear gesso on your drawing because going back and forth with the brush will smudge it. So using a fixative is step one. And I have not used this before, so we're going to test it. And yet I am using graphite, so I'm guessing it'll be a bit stable. I'm thinking this might change with some charcoal, so let me put a bit of charcoal down.
Hey, Shar.
Yeah.
I used it on this one.
Okay.
Let me show you the one that I worked on and opened.
Yeah.
So I used it on this one, and I tested it this morning, and I don't know if you can see my finger. This was the really black.
Yeah. Oh, so that's great.
So I did several coats. But I put them in a fine mister bottle,
which I highly recommend.
So
thank you for testing for all of us. I love it.
So the fixative comes in a bottle that you can actually pour it then, or comes in a can?
It's a spritzer, and I have to say this is just like precarious. It can sometimes splatter, so the fine mister that you can buy for oils or whatnot for the kitchen, that's been a great suggestion to transfer this product into one of those. You can certainly just use it out of here. So this is non-toxic. It's very wet. So when you spray the wood, it's going to soak the wood and get it wet. It does have a slight odor, but when they say odor-free, that is definitely less in comparison to an aerosol. And it looks just fine fixing it. You can get workable fixatives, which means you can spray it as you go. And something that I learned along the way that actually can be really helpful if you like fine lines is to do a spray. And because I have animals and I'm inside, I'm going to use this. But you can spray and wet the wood so you can see how wet that is, that area. And then use your tool and go in, and it will help to keep things really sharp. So you can actually use your fixative on the go, like as you're working. So it's like at this point, you'll probably be getting into some finer lines. And if you're really having fun with the line work, you could use your fixative almost to just dampen the surface. And yeah, I've been able to get like really fine text and writing on not just wood, but raw canvas as well. So fixatives can be used to set, but they can also be used as a medium in a way.
Interesting.
So this product, because it's really, it's made out of casein, so it's all natural and it's non-toxic. I could spray this and then I could keep drawing. That really brings out that green in the poplar. I like that. It'll dry and go back to what it was, but so a workable fixative, you can also spray and then keep working. A final fixative, you can really keep working as well, but it does tend to have, yeah, actually there is no reason why you can't keep working even with the final. But you're not doing like a varnish, you know what I mean? Like you're just setting it. So you can do multiple thin layers. I had when I sprayed it to show on camera, that was quite a lot. Very unnecessary. You don't need to soak it. And probably, I would say, you know, don't. Even though it's just not necessary, it's also something that I just don't know the variables that could happen. It could stain the wood, or it may not dry, like it might dry a little shiny there or something. So really, like, it's less is more with a fixative. Here it says, occasionally spraying your project while you work is better than only spraying at the end. Oh, there we go. Love it.
So is the idea then to go with colored pencils over top of the fixative? Is that where we're going?
So the colored pencils, like if you had only been doing graphite and you want to introduce some color, you can use your colored pencil even before the fixative, actually. But the fixative for my kind of overall plan is that after doing this, we can apply a clear gesso or a dry media ground, and then we could do whatever the heck we want to it, but your drawing is permanent.
Okay.
So that you're not being able to erase it, but then paint and stuff isn't smudging it. So say I do my clear gesso, okay, that dries, and this is permanent. If I come in with an acrylic paint to try a thing and I don't like it, I just wipe it all off, and my drawing has been set and is protected. So it kind of opens up a world of experimentation, of trying things. So protecting the drawing, that's the takeaway from this one.
So this is an underdrawing? Is that?
To me, the drawing is like the thing. So at any point you want to bring in another drawing, like a color. I was sort of just going, I was happy with my tool, but like, yeah, if you want to bring in different colors or whatnot, I'm going to work with this drawing that I've started. And the wood might tell you when it's like, oh, I don't want any more.
Yeah.
I actually quite like this color. This is like a little sort of a yellow ochre color. And so just bringing that in with whatever I've done actually feels really nice. The colored pencil is not so much liking being on the wet. It's better on the dry. So it's when you're using this as you're working, think about why. Think about why you're using it. Do you really need it? You don't have to use it. It's really helpful for getting finer lines. It could also just be helpful for like, oh, I'm done for the day. I'm going to fix it just in case someone puts something on it and it gets like, not that we're using really smudgy stuff, but I'd like to suggest to highlight the drawing in this one. So here's your options. Let me write them out for myself as well. So you have your drawing, and then you could either so we're always going to fix to set. And then you could varnish it and leave it because you like the drawing. Woohoo! You could fix to set and then do watercolor. You could fix to set and then do a gesso for painting. That could be oil or acrylic. You can also do watercolor on gesso. You can fix and then do a dry media ground. And then do pastel.
Yeah.
Accents. Any other thoughts? Those are the main ones that we've been sort of touching on. Combo. So the choices of using graphite and then colored pencil in the first steps are so that it's not super smudgy. We're fixing it before doing any brush groundwork, just so that we're 100% sure we're not wasting our efforts with the drawing stage. And that a fixative is I don't recommend it enough. I don't think I do. It's when I was looking at Audrey Kawasaki's process and reading, when I was like, oh yeah, actually her work is kind of cool on some wood. What does she do? And I went through a bunch of her posts. She always fixes before any next step. So it's like the drawing and then the fix. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That is sort of like a really great process. So something that I kind of got out of the habit with, what I used to do. So this is actually me admitting that I've been sloppy. And I have, over the course of doing artworks, made mistakes like that where I've chosen water-soluble colored pencils to do a thing and then gone in with water and been like, oops.
Yeah,
so to be, to be just mindful about okay, well, what can we do to do a really nice, this could just be a prelim drawing as well, right? So that's also absolutely possible. That could be where you're fixing, you do gesso, and then you paint, and then maybe you're not seeing the drawing anymore. Maybe here and there you're just seeing a little bit of the wood. That's totally optional how much percentage of the drawing that you keep and what you enjoy. So you can also put a lot more time into this stage. I'm going to just plug my iPad in. I can't believe it's video runs it down. Holy moly. I'd like to see where you're at and then maybe help you decide are you wanting to just be done and then get into painting? How are you feeling right now? Betty? Ooh, gorgeous. I love the branches coming out from the main tree. It's beautiful.
Thank you. But I struggle with drawing tremendously, and also knowing, I mean, part of me wants to put in everything that I'm seeing in this picture, including the stump and the log on the ground. But I mean, is that where we should not go that way, right?
You can, I think, if you want it. I chose the photo because the stump and everything is cool. Even if at the very end you wanted just a hint of white for the snow on the ground. It's whatever interests you in the photo. I mean, I picked it, but if you're suggesting that it's you have to do it because it's there, then the answer would be no. You can use this as a launch pad and keep it very unclear, or you can make it that scene. It is a choice to make, yes.
So if you were to use pastel over this is just a birch panel.
Yes.
Then just fixing it, though, you wouldn't have to put it, if you fixed it with the pastel on the top, you wouldn't have to put glass over it then?
No, and that's a conversation that I love. I love. You should, so you're drawing, you get this all worked out. If you're going to use pastel, I'd say you don't have to do a ton of drawing because pastel is just the nature of it going to really fill in a lot. I would do the dry media ground, which, as we know, is, or just as a reminder, is translucent. So it does give a frostiness over the drawing. And then when that dries, you bring in your soft pastel, and then being mindful about using the fixative as you use the pastel, because there's going to be no varnish. I have done many works with no glass, and it was pastel, but it wasn't completely like a full-on pastel where corner to corner there was pastel. So I'm going to encourage leaving some of the wood, leaving some areas. The pastel is an accent. It's a mixed media piece, not a soft pastel piece, because it is a little bit unconventional to just leave a soft pastel open. You can't varnish it. But I've done it, and it's just that it's not really thick soft pastel layers or anything like that. It's just little accents. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So there's maybe at some point I will here. So this goes back to, that process that I used to do for Craftsy, where it was like, you're going to do painting, and then you're going to do the dry media ground, and then we're going to do charcoal and a little bit
I
of soft
love that.
pastel.
Yes, love that.
So I'm going to show one piece because this is applicable to what we're doing. That really was a good example of being stable.
Could you do dry media ground on this too? Or, I mean, I'm sorry, not dry media ground, but that stuff you used for texture. I can't think of what that was in that Craftsy class. It was a texture.
Oh, no, that's a little too rough.
Okay.
That's too rough. So this piece, for example, that is acrylic painting on wood. So that these ones, there was no wood featured, but just as an example of how much pastel there is, because there's no glass on these. So a lot of the color is acrylic, and then you can kind of see the marks that are pastel.
Mm-hmm.
That was just, I did a fixative, and then I did a spray varnish. Okay.
Okay.
And this is the piece where a lot of the color is acrylic, but where you can see pastel is pan pastel. And that's why I liked pan pastel. It's not thick. So after doing a spray fix, I would do a spray varnish, and it doesn't change it too much. Whereas, say, a full-on soft pastel piece, the fixative changes it to a point where that's where people get into the, I don't want to use it. So you can see where the marks are, the drawing marks. And after I sprayed it, they're much lighter than what they were when I first put them down. And that's like, I overcompensate for that by doing like high contrast. So it works because I know what it's going to do and how I'm going to work with that.
So you created a higher contrast, but then you actually put varnish over that.
Spray varnish. Yeah.
Spray varnish, right.
Yeah. So no brushes. Yeah.
Okay.
It is a different thing than what we're doing, but it's in the same realm of soft pastel is the topic on this point. It's just to not use it very thick and not all over the place. So it has to be in like a holding hands with the other mixed media so that it's accents only and very flat because it's a dust. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
Okay, that's awesome. So I know, drawing, when you say drawing is a struggle, I feel you. Do you feel that you want to work on this as a drawing? Because it might be quicker if you go in with paint and you just mapped out the main shapes now. How are you feeling about like what your choices are?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm torn between pastel and acrylic. I mean, frankly, when we first started doing this, I felt panicky. I'm feeling a little better right now.
Good. This is where we get into
I'm
the
not
art
sure. I'm
therapy.
not sure. It, based on my level of talent or knowledge, what would you recommend? What would be less stressful, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Less stressful. To not put everything in. To to let the wood be a big part of it. and allow that space and be a little bit more minimal than what we might tend to do and choose to do. And I would use this project as a place to draw, because your drawing looks fantastic and you do have the patience and the dedication to do it. So it's an opportunity to do something different.
Well, would you recommend then that I go either with what media would you suggest maybe would better do that? The acrylic maybe? Or the pastel, or wouldn't it matter?
If you get that to a place where you're happy with the drawing, I'd be better assessing it then.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Is that okay?
Sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Can
That
you
helps a
accept
lot.
the unknown?
Yes, I can somewhat.
Yeah, I think that it's like, let's just see where you get with the drawing. And maybe pop into Open Studio tomorrow if you have time in the morning.
Is this a good, using the fixative like this, is this a good way of when, okay, you do your drawing, you don't do all of it, but you do some, then you do a fixative, well, then you have a better chance of painting branches over branches? Is that an advantage to this also?
Yes, layering,
No.
absolutely.
Okay.
Anything painted would feel in front of, so your drawing, if you could use it as the mysterious trees in the back, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Carol, would you like to share what you have?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Oh my goodness,
Oh,
that's
wow.
lovely.
Thinking to bring a few more branches in here, even though it's actually there isn't in the picture, but
Yes. So I'm going to send everyone I can't do the follow-up of the recording quickly because it takes time to upload, download, all that jazz. But I'm going to respond with another photo that I did question about, should we use it? And it might be able to help where to go. It's actually about symmetry. Oh my goodness. But it's kind of like, it seems to be what you have and where it could help. I mean, you might not need it, Carol. It seems like, I would put in some more branches, and symmetry would be fine as long as it's not perfect mirror.
right, yeah.
I love that they're meeting and that there's this like opening, like lungs. So I think that looks really beautiful with the wood.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice, strong. Was that charcoal that you used?
Mixture, actually. I used
Mixture.
some pencils, and then I used, some charcoal, and even a fat one there. And then all of the rubbing it by times. But anyways, I have to stand back because, like Esther, I just kind of went, oh, wow, okay. But then I got into it, but I had to get up a couple of times because I thought, okay. And suddenly it's this time. I had no idea that much time had gone by. So, yeah.
I was very much enjoying the passionate silence. It was really awesome, especially over drawing. So very touching to me, because it's one thing to lose yourself in painting, it's another thing to lose yourself in drawing, because it's my heart. So I love it as well. It is 12, so I'm going to just continue. Let's share before if we can just do that before we head out. Stacy, go ahead.
I'm going to share mine, and then I do have to go because I'm leaving. So
I understand. Aha! Oh, lovely. I really like the way how much of the board you've taken up.
I got to figure. I started something here. I didn't like it, so I have to figure out if I should just make it bolder like this, or just.
I like the charcoal smudge. Like, it can just be distressed wood like atmosphere, like it's an old gnarly tree, you know?
So over here and then here.
I like that. That like to me represents the trunk and the branches. It looks like a tree. It looks fantastic. So I guess the question is, do you want to fix it now and then uh, introduce the gesso and paint? Or would you want to do more drawing?
I think I did spray it once.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over it maybe with a little bit more charcoal. To maybe smudge in the trunk more, like just to darken that up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, should I darken this side over here for balance or no?
I wouldn't now. So this is for everybody, but I'm going to use Stacy's as a suggestion or an example. Is that whenever you want this drawing to be like it's permanent, you're not going to change it. That's when you fix and ground. Okay. The thing is, you can always, after the clear gesso, add more charcoal. It's just that you're not going to be erasing back any of this.
Right.
So I wouldn't do anything where it's like, oh, it might be too dark now. I would probably set this drawing soonish and then just so let that dry overnight and then be like, okay, I could absolutely play around with adding in those darker areas. And if I don't like them, I can take it back.
Okay.
So I think that your drawing is strong, and then you can still go ahead and then like you can still keep drawing after that. So
okay.
Just wonderful. You have really good personality in this, in like this old tree. Like I love the composition of it and your design. Wonderful work. Okay, well, I just want to see Esther's and Christine's if that's okay. But if you have to head out, Stacey, I get it. Okay, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Christine. Oh, you gorgeous with your gestural lines, gorgeous gestural lines. Oh, it's beautiful.
So I'll keep drawing for a while before I spray it, and then.
Yeah, the grain in your wood. Ooh, I like where you've placed that. There's a big, nice, strong part at the bottom that you could allow that to do its thing. It's great.
And I think too, maybe the light in the middle here too. I'll leave.
Yes. I really like the crooked tree in behind that you captured really well. I actually don't think, did anyone else get that tree in there?
I did.
Did you? That's really, I think that's a great decision for the both of you. Yeah. To me, I don't know if I'll do it. I don't know if it's necessary, but I really like that in the size of your piece. And even with the wood grain, I think that works really well. And that's graphite, Christine?
Yes.
I am loving the graphite.
Yes, 6 feet. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels really nice with the wood. Yeah, gorgeous. Please keep going and enjoy the process. It looks great.
Have a dark rainy day. I think we might spend some time.
Esther.
Hey.
I've spotlit you. Hey, love.
All right. I think I'm gonna join Open Studio tomorrow to continue.
I will send you the link. Sounds great.
And so that's what I
came
up with. I don't know if you can.
Yes. Or are you going to have Dan cut that piece of wood?
Yes. Or Home Depot. Home Depot does it.
Yes. Good. There you go, Betty. Look at that tree.
Yeah, I see that. I like it. I like that stump.
It's just kind of hanging there. I've decided I tried putting a horizon line in it, but I actually don't like it. I just want to leave it kind of like this. But I want to add color and maybe add a little more lightness.
that the color will pull it together, right? Because you'll be creating like the environment in and around it. Because I get it. Like, yes, it looks like it's just sitting there, but that's okay. I mean, actually, you could really, those wonderful, what to me reminds me of like the shape of air plants, the branches up just above the stump. You could even have the bottom of the stump where it meets the ground kind of crawling out like it's also a walking tree. Like you could connect that stump in other ways, but then again, it's not just about the stump, is it? Those trees at the side are magnificent. And I'd love to see maybe a little bit more of that fuzzy, loosey mark making in on that other side as well, somehow.
Yeah, I worked on that at the last minute. It needs
some
work. But
yes. Because the illustrative, the really strong design shapes you have with the stump and the two branches above are so clear, and so I think maybe messing them up a little bit so that it feels like they're all together. There's motion and stuff. Amazing composition. I love it. Even the branch that you have that's kind of cutting off, like here we have a really good example, just to take a minute to talk about this, of compositional design choices that we always have to question, right? Of like having a tree on the side that's right on the edge, having something that blocks off a corner. But how, when you put them all in and it's really intentional and we're trying to create a closed off feel where we don't want to lead the eye off the page, that it works. So this is why composition tends to be really hard, right? Is people are like, but what are the rules? And there are suggestions, but it's not a box. So I love that you've gone with the composition, which I knew very well broke some of those suggestive, boxes, but it creates that what I think in Italian is called a grotto, which is like a window in. So you've taken it into that space of very inviting, and there's a story there. So thank you, Esther, for sharing. You worked fast today. Holy.
Well, I really was working myself. I'm not fast, and I have been really working on myself for that. I felt it was important to put this in, because I feel like it invites the viewer in without the trees just kind of, I don't know, it's some kind of connector, I felt.
It is, yes. There are others in there, so as you identified that one, you get to choose how many. I agree. There is like a nice leading string of trees.
Love trees, so it's good.
I can't wait to see you tomorrow for Open Studio. And so I'll see you. So again, if you ever want to, it's a drop-in thing. You just have to let me know to get the Zoom link. And I asked for $15 because it is a thing that keeps me being able to run it and commit to that time. But it is amazing. Like, it's so nice to be able to do your own thing, and whatever that is. If you want and have the time, want to do it. So
what time is
10 to 12. It's the same. It's just that's the Sunday morning slot for now. So it's just usually a random handful of people. It's not a huge thing, and we still do check-ins and stuff, but everyone's working on their own stuff. Okay, fantastic. We are going to continue this next week, and so there's no rush. You do not have to work extra on it, but I'll be in touch, and I'm here if you need me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great day.
Thank you.
As the kids do. I think that's the new heart these days. Oh, I'm not spotlit. This is the new heart.
Oh.
Like that.
I think so anyway. I don't know. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.